Let me tell you something right now. The moment you believe your worth is tied to a number, you've handed over your power. You've given control of your confidence, your joy, and your identity to something outside yourself. That's not just wrong. That's dangerous. Because numbers fluctuate, life changes. But your true worth, that's constant. Think about it. If the number on the scale goes up, you feel bad. If it goes down, you feel good. That's emotional slavery. You're allowing a lifeless object to dictate how you see yourself. That's like judging the value of a masterpiece painting by the weight of the frame it's in. Ridiculous, right? Your life, your essence, is the art. The scale. It's nothing but a tool, and a lousy one for measuring true value. Your worth comes from your character. The way you keep going when things get hard. The way you treat people when they can do nothing for you. The way you fight for your dreams even when no one's cheering you on. No number, no chart, no statistic can capture that. That's soul. That's heart. That's human greatness. I've met billionaires who are empty inside and people with nothing in their pockets who radiate joy, strength, and purpose. Why? Because worth isn't stored in what you have, what you weigh, or what you wear. It's in who you've become. And if you want to elevate your worth in your own eyes, stop chasing a number and start building a life you're proud to live. Here's the truth. The world will try to sell you the idea that your value is conditional, that you'll be enough. When you lose 10 pounds, get the perfect abs, or fit into that one outfit. That's marketing, not reality. If you buy into it, you'll always be chasing and never arriving. Stop running toward an image and start standing in your own power now. When you remove numbers from the equation, you begin to notice the real markers of worth, the courage to start again after failure. The compassion you show when it's not convenient. The discipline to follow through on your word. The energy you bring to the people around you. These are priceless. And no scale will ever show them. So from this moment forward, I want you to declare it. My worth is not a number. Say it, believe it, and live it. The scale might measure your body, but only you can measure your life. And the way you measure it is by how you live, love, and contribute every single day. That's where your true value lies. And nothing can take that from you. You've been taught to treat the scale like a judge, as if it has the right to hand you a verdict every morning. If the number's good, you walk taller. If it's bad, you shrink into yourself. That is not living, that's a prison. And the craziest part, the door to that prison has been unlocked the whole time. You just have to decide to walk out. Every time you let the scale dictate your mood, your choices, or your self-esteem, you're giving away a piece of your freedom. That's not just about weight. That's about control. And if you hand over control to something so meaningless, how can you ever own your life? Freedom starts when you stop asking permission from a number to feel good about yourself. The scale doesn't know how strong you are. It doesn't care how many times you got back up after life knocked you down. It has no clue about the nights you stayed up comforting a friend, the mornings you pushed through exhaustion to keep a promise, or the battles you fought inside your own mind and won. That little machine is blind to all of that, but you see it, and that's what matters. Breaking free means you stop looking down at a number and start looking up at your life. It means you measure progress by how you feel, by the energy you have, by the confidence you radiate, by the way you show up in your relationships and your dreams. That's the kind of progress that lasts, because it's built on truth, not on digits. Here's the irony. When you stop obsessing over the number and focus on living fully, your health often improves naturally. Not because you're punishing yourself into it, but because you're fueling yourself out of love. And love will take you further than shame ever will. Understand this in this: no one is born with a number stamped on their forehead that says, "This is your value." That's a human invention. And if humans invented it, you can reject it. You can rewrite the rules for your own life. You can decide right now that your worth is not up for measurement. It's up for expression. So walk out of that prison. Stop giving that machine the power to define you. Take back the steering wheel of your life and drive it toward the things that actually matter: your health, your happiness, your contribution, your growth. That's freedom. And once you feel it, you'll never go back to being measured again. Worth is not something you calculate. It's something you live. It's not found in a measurement. It's forged in your daily actions. Every choice you make is a brick in the foundation of your value. When you show up for yourself, when you follow through on your word, when you push past fear to do what matters, you are living your worth. You see, the world is full of people who say they want to feel valuable, but they sit back waiting for that feeling to show up. It doesn't work that way. Self-worth isn't handed out like a gift. It's earned through living intentionally. Every day, you have the opportunity to either reinforce your value or neglect it. And it's the sum of those small daily choices that builds an unshakable sense of who you are. Living your worth means taking action even when it's uncomfortable. It means showing discipline when no one's watching. It means being the kind of person who follows through not for applause, not for recognition, but because that's who you are. The reward isn't in someone else noticing. The reward is in you knowing. And here's the thing. You don't need perfection to live your worth. You just need consistency. You don't have to run a marathon every day. Sometimes living your worth is as simple as choosing the food that fuels you instead of the one that numbs you, making the call to repair a relationship instead of avoiding it, or spending 10 minutes moving your body because you promised yourself you would. These moments might feel small, but they stack, and stacked moments become massive change. When you live your worth through action, something powerful happens. Your confidence stops depending on outside validation. You no longer need a number, a compliment, or an achievement to tell you who you are. You know. And when you know, you move differently. You carry yourself with a certainty that no scale and no opinion can shake. Living your worth is also about contribution. The fastest way to feel valuable is to add value to others. Serve, support, inspire. Give someone else the gift of your energy, your attention, your encouragement. When you shift the focus from me to we, you discover that your worth expands in ways you never imagined. So today, stop asking, "Am I enough?" and start proving it through your actions. Live in a way that aligns with your values. Live in a way that you would admire if you were watching yourself. Live in a way that makes you proud to be you. Because when you live your worth, you don't just feel valuable. You become unstoppable. The most powerful parts of you can't be measured. You can't put resilience on a scale. You can't calculate courage in pounds or kilograms. You can't chart the depth of your kindness on a graph. Yet these are the qualities that shape your life more than any physical metric ever could. Numbers can only capture what's on the surface. But your true worth lives in the unseen. Think about the storms you've survived, the heartbreaks you've endured, the battles in your mind that you've fought silently and won. None of that shows up on a scale, yet each of those victories has made you stronger, wiser, and more capable. That strength is invisible to measurements, but it's felt in the way you carry yourself, the way you face challenges, and the way you inspire others. Your passion can't be weighed. Your hunger for life, your commitment to growth, your drive to keep moving forward, no machine in the world can record those. But you know they're there because they pull you out of bed when it's easier to quit. They push you past your comfort zone They remind you that you are alive for a reason, and that reason is bigger than numbers. And let's talk about compassion, because compassion is one of the most valuable forces you'll ever possess. The willingness to care for someone when you're tired, to give when you have little, to listen when the world is loud. Those acts can't be measured in size or weight, but they leave a mark far greater than anything physical. That's legacy. When you recognize what can't be measured, you begin to focus on what truly matters. You stop chasing external validation and start building internal strength. You stop obsessing over an image and start creating an impact. You become less interested in how you look and more interested in how you live. And that shift changes everything. Here's the truth. The things that make you truly valuable can't be lost through a few bad days, a tough season, or a change in your body. Skills, character, heart, these grow with time, with effort, with intention. They are not fragile like a number. They are fortified through living fully. So measure yourself by a different standard. Don't ask, what do I weigh? Ask, what do I bring? Don't wonder, how do I look? Ask, how do I live? Because the qualities that will define your life are the ones no scale will ever see. And yet, they are the ones the world needs most from you. Stop waiting to feel enough. Stop putting your life on pause until you reach some imagined finish line. The perfect weight, the perfect body, the perfect moment. That's a trap, and it's stealing your time. Every day you delay because you think you're not ready is a day you can never get back. You're not here to wait for worthiness. You're here to live it right now. Here's the truth. There will never be a moment when everything lines up perfectly. Life is messy, unpredictable, and often inconvenient. If you keep telling yourself, I'll start when I lose the weight, or I'll feel confident once I look a certain way, you're setting conditions for your happiness that will keep moving further out of reach. You don't need to be finished to be worthy. You just need to be present. Worth isn't a reward for achievement. It's the fuel that drives it. When you decide you are enough right now, you stop operating from scarcity and start operating from power. You no longer chase goals to prove your value. You pursue them because you know your value. And that shift changes the entire game. Think about it. When you believe you're already worthy, you give yourself permission to take risks. You say yes to opportunities. You speak up. You step forward. You stop hiding behind someday and start building today. And ironically, that's when growth happens faster, because you're moving from a place of confidence, not desperation. Waiting to feel worthy is like holding your breath until someone tells you it's okay to breathe. You're suffocating your potential. You're dimming your light. You're living half a life because you think the real life starts later. It doesn't. It starts the moment you decide it starts. This is not about ignoring your goals. It's about refusing to let them hold your self-esteem hostage. You can want change. You can work for progress. You can strive for more. But you must understand that none of it will make you more enough than you are right now. Your worth was never up for negotiation. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for perfection. Step into your life today with the body you have, the circumstances you're in, and the heart that's beating in your chest. Right now. Live like you're already worthy, because you are. And when you operate from that truth, you'll realize you never needed to wait at all. Every single morning, you have a choice. You can drift through the day on autopilot, or you can decide to live your worth. This is not a once-a-year resolution. It's a daily practice. It's the way you wake up, the way you move, the way you speak to yourself, and the way you show up for others. Worth isn't something you discover by accident. It's something you build day by day through deliberate action. Living your worth starts before your feet even hit the floor. It's in the decision to speak life over yourself instead of criticism. It's in the choice to put your energy into things that matter instead of things that drain you. It's in creating habits that reinforce your strength, your health, and your purpose, because every action is a vote for the kind of person you want to be. And here's the thing. When you make worth a daily practice, you stop thinking about it so much and start embodying it. Confidence stops being something you try to feel and becomes something you naturally radiate. You move differently, you talk differently, and people can sense that you respect yourself without you saying a word. Daily worth living also means keeping promises to yourself. Not the giant ones you make once in a while, but the small ones you make every single day. Drink the water you said you would. Do the workout you committed to. Take the 5 minutes to plan your day. These aren't just habits. They're proof to yourself that your word matters, and that builds a level of trust in yourself that's unshakable. It's also about how you interact with the world. When you live your worth, you give your best energy to the people and causes that align with your values. You set boundaries where they're needed. You say no to what diminishes you and yes to what expands you. You become intentional about every yes and every no, because both shape the life you're living. Over time, this practice becomes your default. You stop chasing worth and start owning it. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. And the more you live in alignment with your values, the more unstoppable you feel. Not because life is perfect, but because you're grounded in something deeper than circumstances. So make the decision, today, tomorrow, and every day after, to live your worth like it's the most important thing you own, because it is. When you do, you won't just feel better about yourself, you'll transform the way you experience life. And that, my friend, is a kind of wealth no scale, no number, and no opinion could ever measure. Listen, your worth is not something you're earning. It's something you embody. It's not hidden in a number. It's not locked in a goal, and it's not waiting for you somewhere in the future. It's here. It's in you. Right now. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You don't need to reach a finish line before you start living like you matter. Because you already do. The only question is, will you own it? This is your moment to walk out of the old prison of measurements, comparisons, and conditions, and step into a life where your worth is lived every single day, not weighed, not judged, lived. So stand tall, speak truth to yourself, move like you belong here, because you do. Love like your heart is overflowing, because it is. And give this world the version of you that's fully awake, fully alive, and unapologetically worthy. Don't weigh your worth. Live it. And when you live it, you'll see something incredible happen. Not only will you transform your own life, but you'll ignite the light in everyone you touch. Now go out there and live like you mean it.